Benavidez right now, or you got Terrence Crawford, right? Oh, there's no credit if I fight Terrence Crawford.
Andre Ward looked like a choir boy, but behind those cold eyes burned a competitive fire that consumed enemies whole. They called him SOG, Son of God. But inside the ring, he was pure devil. Ward perfected the art of clinical destruction, breaking opponents with such surgical precision that they questioned their entire careers afterward.
Andre Ward landing his own straight right hand.
This wasn't your typical trash-talking boxer who screamed threats at press conferences. Ward was infinitely more dangerous, a silent assassin who studied weaknesses like a scientist, then exploited them with methodical cruelty. His opponents didn't just lose fights, they lost confidence, credibility, and sometimes their will to continue boxing. Ward's hatred burned differently than other fighters. While some boxers let emotions control them, Ward channeled his contempt into calculated violence. He'd smile politely during interviews while mentally dissecting his next victim, planning exactly how to dismantle their strengths and expose their vulnerabilities. From Olympic teammates who became bitter rivals to European champions who learned American superiority the hard way, Ward's career was built on systematic domination of anyone who dared challenge his supremacy. Today we're examining the 6 boxers Andre Ward despised most. The cold-blooded destruction you're about to witness will chill you. This is precision hatred at its most terrifying. 6. Arthur Abraham. Coming in at number 6 is the European veteran who discovered that experience means nothing against pure boxing intelligence. Arthur King Abraham, whose powerful reputation crumbled under Ward's clinical dissection during their Super 6 encounter. Here's what unfolded during their 2011 clash. Abraham entered as the tournament's most seasoned competitor, boasting knockout power and championship pedigree that intimidated lesser opponents. But training camp sources reveal Ward viewed Abraham's reputation as inflated, built on victories over inferior European competition rather than elite-level fighters. Ward began his mental campaign by studying Abraham's previous defeats, identifying his vulnerability to superior boxing IQ and movement. During pre-fight interviews, Ward dismissively referred to Abraham's power as overrated and his experience as irrelevant against real technique. The German champion tried projecting confidence, but Ward's cold analysis clearly rattled him. The psychological edge became apparent when Ward openly predicted he would school Abraham in boxing fundamentals, promising to make him look amateur. Training insiders claim Ward spent countless hours perfecting angles and distance control specifically designed to neutralize Abraham's strengths.
Up in this round, though.
Ward hooking off the jab.
Abraham, he's gotten through with those body shots and also some good shots to the head.
Abraham's camp grew increasingly frustrated with Ward's dismissive attitude, feeling disrespected by his clinical approach to their fighter's reputation. Ward's assessment proved devastatingly accurate. He systematically dismantled Abraham's offense while landing precise counters that exposed every flaw in his technique. When they met in the ring, Ward's prediction became reality. Abraham looked confused and helpless against Ward's superior boxing intelligence, his vaunted power rendered useless by perfect positioning and movement. Ward had exposed him completely. 5. Mikkel Kessler. Coming in at number 5 is the Danish destroyer who learned that Scandinavian toughness couldn't overcome American boxing sophistication. Mikkel Viking warrior Kessler, whose European credentials became meaningless against Ward's technical supremacy. Here's what developed during their Super 6 semi-final build-up. Kessler arrived with legitimate credentials and genuine confidence in his abilities, having conquered multiple European champions with his aggressive style. But sources close to Ward's camp reveal he viewed Kessler as another overhyped European fighter, destined for systematic destruction. Ward initiated his psychological approach by questioning the quality of Kessler's previous opposition, suggesting European boxing lacked the depth and skill level found in American competition. During media sessions, Ward's dismissive tone when discussing Kessler's achievements clearly frustrated the Danish champion, who felt his accomplishments were being minimized. The mental warfare escalated when Ward openly stated that Kessler's aggressive style would be easily countered by superior boxing fundamentals, and that his European success meant absolutely nothing in elite-level competition. Training camp insiders reveal Ward studied every aspect of Kessler's technique, identifying exploitable patterns in his offensive approach. Kessler's team grew agitated by Ward's clinical confidence, feeling their fighter wasn't receiving proper respect for his championship pedigree. Ward's cold analysis of Kessler's limitations proved prophetic. He neutralized the Vikings' aggression while systematically breaking down his defensive weaknesses. The bout itself confirmed Ward's assessment. Kessler's European style looked primitive against Ward's technical perfection. His trademark aggression rendered ineffective by superior positioning and counterpunching. Ward had reduced a respected champion to just another victim. 4. Carl Froch. Coming in at number 4 is the British bulldog who discovered that heart and determination couldn't overcome pure boxing genius. Carl "Cobra" Froch, whose warrior mentality became the target of Ward's most calculated professional humiliation. Here's what transpired during their Super 6 final confrontation. Froch represented everything Ward despised about modern boxing: style over substance, entertainment over technique, crowd-pleasing brawling over scientific precision. Camp sources reveal Ward viewed their encounter as an opportunity to prove American boxing superiority over British showmanship. Ward's mental approach centered on exposing Froch's technical limitations while highlighting his own superior boxing intelligence. During press conferences, Ward dismissed Froch's warrior reputation as meaningless against real skill, and promised to demonstrate the difference between fighting and boxing. The British champion's attempts at intimidation were met with Ward's characteristic cold indifference. The psychological campaign intensified when Ward openly mocked Froch's defensive deficiencies, predicting he would school him in boxing fundamentals while making him look amateurish. Training insiders reveal Ward dedicated extensive preparation to neutralizing Froch's strengths while exploiting his predictable patterns. Froch's camp became increasingly frustrated with Ward's dismissive attitude toward their fighters' achievements and crowd-pleasing style. Ward's clinical assessment proved devastatingly accurate during their bout, as he systematically outboxed Froch while avoiding his power shots. The aftermath revealed Ward's complete psychological dominance. Froch's claims of robbery and hometown advantage only confirmed that Ward had broken him mentally as well as physically, reducing a proud champion to making excuses rather than accepting superior opposition. 3. Sergey Kovalev. Coming in at number 3 is the Russian destroyer who discovered that power means nothing against superior boxing intellect. Sergey "Crusher" Kovalev, whose devastating reputation became Ward's primary target in their epic light heavyweight rivalry. Here's what developed during their two-fight saga. Kovalev entered as the division's most feared puncher, having destroyed multiple champions with his clinical power punching. But sources reveal Ward viewed Kovalev's reputation as overinflated, built on victories over limited opposition rather than elite competition. Ward's psychological approach focused on questioning Kovalev's boxing intelligence while highlighting his own superior technique and ring IQ. During media encounters, Ward suggested Kovalev's power-based style would be easily neutralized by superior fundamentals, and that his previous opponents lacked the skill to expose his weaknesses. The mental warfare escalated when Ward openly predicted he would outclass Kovalev in boxing skills, while avoiding his power through superior movement and positioning. Kovalev's team grew frustrated with Ward's confident dismissal of their fighter's knockout power and championship credentials. The Russian appeared genuinely rattled by Ward's clinical analysis of his limitations, particularly his defensive deficiencies against elite-level competition. Their encounters proved Ward's assessment correct. Despite Kovalev's early success, Ward's superior boxing intelligence gradually took control, systematically breaking down the Russian's strengths while exposing his technical limitations. The controversial decisions only fueled their mutual hatred, creating a rivalry that defined both careers while proving Ward's mental superiority over raw power. 2. Gennady Golovkin. Coming in at number 2 is the avoided superfight that revealed competitive cowardice: Gennady "GGG" Golovkin, whose relentless pursuit of Ward exposed the calculated duck job that defined their non-existent rivalry. Here's what unfolded during years of failed negotiations. Golovkin represented the perfect stylistic matchup. Devastating power versus superior technique, Kazakhstani destroyer against American boxing genius. But sources reveal Ward had zero interest in facing Golovkin's legitimate knockout threat, preferring safer opponents despite public claims of wanting big fights. Ward's avoidance strategy centered on impossible weight demands and promotional complications, creating barriers that made their encounter practically impossible. During interviews, Ward would express interest while simultaneously presenting unrealistic conditions, knowing Golovkin's team couldn't accept them. The psychological dynamic became clear when Ward consistently moved weight classes to avoid direct confrontation with Golovkin's devastating power. Training insiders reveal Ward privately acknowledged Golovkin's knockout ability while publicly questioning his overall boxing skills and competition level. Golovkin's frustration grew evident through social media call-outs and interview challenges, desperately seeking the marquee victory that Ward's name would provide. His team's repeated offers were met with Ward's calculated indifference, creating a one-sided pursuit that exposed Ward's careful opponent selection. The mutual respect they publicly displayed masked genuine competitive hatred. Ward resented Golovkin's power-based popularity while avoiding the legitimate challenge he represented. Golovkin despised Ward's technical reputation while being denied the opportunity to prove his superiority through direct confrontation. Their non-fight became boxing's greatest what-if scenario, revealing both fighters' true characters through their actions rather than words. 1. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Coming in at number 1 is the Cold War between boxing's most technically gifted fighters. Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr., whose mainstream success became the target of Ward's deepest professional jealousy and competitive hatred. Here's what developed between these Olympic teammates turned bitter rivals. Ward's psychological campaign operated through subtle media shots and social media implications, never directly attacking Mayweather, but consistently undermining his legacy through coded language. During interviews, Ward would reference real competition and legitimate opposition, while discussing pound-for-pound rankings, clearly targeting Mayweather's opponent selection. The underlying tension stemmed from professional jealousy masked as competitive analysis. Ward resented Mayweather's massive financial success despite fighting inferior opposition, while Mayweather dismissed Ward's technical reputation as meaningless, without mainstream appeal. Their mutual hatred remained largely unspoken, but clearly evident through years of subtle disrespect and competitive one-upmanship that defined boxing's coldest rivalry. Andre Ward's quiet intensity masked a killer instinct that systematically destroyed every challenger. These rivalries proved that the most dangerous fighters aren't always the loudest. Sometimes they're the ones watching silently, calculating your destruction. Which rivalry showed Ward's coldest side? Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more boxing's most calculated stories.